But if he's a big one and he takes off smoking,
Yeah,
let him run.
drag.
You can take that thing out, son.
Yeah, you'll have it easy.
That's a good fish. Here. Look. Yeah, that's a good fish. These things fight like freight trains this time of year, Brad, so when he gets close to the boat, bring the rod tip up high. God, look at that. Nice fish. All right, Jack. Broke the ice. That's the first rod I baited, guys. We found some fish. You know I've been struggling these last 3 days. This is important, guys. When I get this fish in the net, there's no baits out right now. I want you to let the rod tip down. Push this button.
This button?
Push it. Put it right back in the rod holder. Put it right back in that rod holder. Just like that. Now that's it. All right, now listen to me. When I got baits out, as soon as we get it in the net, you push the button, put it in that rod holder, because the other rods start bending down. You don't want to be standing there holding it, because what you're going to do is throw it on the floor. And I'm sitting here dealing with it. So
yes,
that's what we do. We get it in the net, put it in, and watch them other rod tips, because they can bend down. We ain't got no baits on them. All right, we got the skunk knocked off of us quick, guys.
Well, you didn't mess around.
Hot diggity dog. Hot diggity dog. Took these guys over here to my secret spot. You're gonna get that one over here.
Yeah.
That's, you got that rod back in the rod holder, son, like I told you?
Shit, let me get that.
That's why I told you, put that thing back in the rod holder.
We got a fish on this thing.
I know, just lay that down. You get that one. Y'all take your time.
All right.
We'll get
that rod, Jack.
Take your time. Take your time. I'll get you. I'll get that.
All right.
Oh my god.
Damn, look at that, Jack.
This one's massive.
Let him take drag if you want to. May have to wear him out a little bit. Damn.
Come over here, Dad.
That's a
Reel
big
that down.
fish.
Reel that rod down and pull him easy up from under the boat. Here you go, Brad. Here, y'all get this. I'm gonna get these all these other lines baited.
Whoa, look at that.
Big one. Another one in the front, guys. Another one in the front. Who's up for the one in the front here?
Put the rod.
We got one in the front.
All right, go get that fish in the front, Jack. Lock it, put it in. Lock it.
I can't get these rods baited, guys. What I do is, when you put this back in the rod holder, that's why I leave the button pushed.
Yep.
I can just go like this.
Yep.
Keep that fish over here. Don't let him get in that trolling motor. That's a baby. Rod tip high when he gets close to the boat. All right, push the button, put it back in the rod holder. Watch the other rods that got bait on them. All right, good fish. Real good fish. Here, let me get that.
You got it?
Yeah. You guys watch those other rods.
Alright, can I put this down?
Yeah, you just lay it down.
Yeah, I got it.
That might be the biggest one we've had. Yeah, that thing's huge. Kelsey's on steroids.
Keep that rod up and bent. It's a good one.
This one's red.
See how they fight like freight trains? All right, rod tip high. You can stop reeling.
It's so funny the difference, man. That
All
one I
right,
just
rod tip
caught.
high. They're not as big as, they're not that, they're good size, don't get me wrong. Let the rod down once he's in the net. All right, now just push this button. Wearing you out, put it right back in the rod holder. That's a good one.
There's a 50.
What?
Forgot about that one. I was just chilling. How would that go?
We got the neighborhood fish fry this weekend too, for next weekend. Yeah, Jack.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, crap, lost him.
That's fishing, guys. You can't catch them all. Take your time. We're on the fish. Pull that fish to the left. You want to try and keep them at, well, that line's not down, but you want to steer that fish. Use that rod to steer that fish. Pull them to the left. That's a good fish. always. That's a good fish.
Right on you.
Good job, guys. Good job. Push that button, put it back in the rod holder. Try and take the pressure off the rod while you push the button, because if you got too much pressure, it'll backlash it.
Yeah.
You know, like a bass reel.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Baby? Just a baby? Or you get, what happened?
Want another one? What?
Here, you try and take, son, you gotta get that.
Yeah, don't leave that tension on there. It'll burst.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You gotta let the rod down when she's in the net. Make sure it's not bent real over hard. Push the button, put it back in the rod holder.
You don't want him.
Keep reeling down and pulling them out. Make them turn and come out here. We're gonna try and keep them away from this line.
Yeah.
Man, that's a big one, Jack.
It is. It's a good fish.
Okay, I see it.
That's it. Now pull them back to the right. You always want to steer that fish to bring them up in here. Rod tip high when he gets close to the boat. Oh, rascals are fighting good. I drop the rod tip all the way down with the rod tip. There you go. Push the button, put it back in the rod holder.
At the end of the day, man.
Let me set it right there. All right, watch those other rod tips. I hear one.
Lost him.
I heard it pull drag. Just a little guy.
Not over here.
That little rascal fought good. Open that cooler.
For his size,
He's got one out back here.
Oh,
I got a baby.
good eater. All right, let the rod down. Push the button, put it back in the rod holder. Watch those other rods. Take your time. Rod up and bent.
Let's work him on in.
Straighten that net out. There you go. Keep that rod up and high when he gets close to the boat. When he gets close to the boat.
You still got to get that line.
That's what I'm saying. When you start to see the weight, start lifting the rod tip high so we can get him to the top of the water so Dad can get him in the net. It's a good fish. Front rod, front rod. Put that rod down, push the button, go get that fish in the front.
Come on, Jack.
Another one on the door rod. Door rod.
Which rod?
The door. Oh, never mind. He's hung up in this one. Or he got. That's a good fish. Keep that rod up and bent, son. Here you go. I'm going to get these other back.
I got it.
Here, let me show you something. Try and do this. You might like it better. Hold this in the front.
He's a lefty.
And put that in your belly. And see how you keep that rod up and bent? Does that feel better or no?
Nah, that's
Okay, well, if it doesn't work for you, that's just how I do it.
Yeah.
It's good fish, son.
Yeah, you're having to work that boy.
Keep him coming back this way.
Keep pulling him left. Let him go up under the boat.
Yeah, you don't want him. All right, he's close now. Lift the rod tip high. Good fish.
That's a nice fish, Jack.
You just keep doing the same thing till you get him to the top of the water.
Let him, if he wants to pull drag, let
Yeah,
him.
yeah, you
Keep
take
pulling
your
that
time.
drag.
Enjoy the fight.
Keep him away from that trolling motor.
That's good. That's a good fish. Way to go, Jack. That fish don't want to be caught. Hot diggity dog. Over here in my secret spot. Over here in my secret spot.
Man, this might be the biggest one we've caught.
Yeah, I think that is the biggest one.
Good fish, good fish. All right, way to go, Brad. Ooh, you guys are gonna eat good tonight.
I don't even think I can eat one of these.
You say you're having a neighborhood fish fry?
Yeah.
Let the rod down. Push the button, put it back in the rod holder. There was one on this one right here.
Okay.
You gotta try and take the pressure off that rod tip, son. Take your time.
On this lake.
Yeah, just leave it in the water, buddy.
Here. Yeah, it's easier to use the net.
Less risk of catching a hook and your legs breaking up.
Nah, those are just little guys. Take your time. Keep that rod up and bent. Good marks on the screen, guys. Good marks on the screen. Make sure that thing's lively. If it's not lively, I got to put a new bait on it. You see what I said? Move out in a bit deeper water, get some bigger fish.
Well, we played the volume game, so I'm glad to keep the quality now. Oh, that's a hoss, Jack. Nice fish, man.
That's a striper. You push that button, put it right back in the rod holder. Watch those other rod tips. Get the net, son.
I got it.
This guy's taking some line, man.
All right, big fish, take your time. That's a good fish, the big striper. It's a good striper. Take your time, guys. Rod tip high when it gets close to the boat. Flat, keep the net flat. Dip under them.
Jack,
Good
don't
fish.
get me in the nuts with that thing.
Good fish, guys.
Damn.
Striper.
The new big boy.
That's a nice fish. Pretty fish.
Hey, I think we left you one or two. I think we left like one or two fish in there. I ain't ever seen anything like it, man.
You know, I should have given you called Kevin when you called me the other day.
What's that?
I should have given you his number when you called, but I couldn't get out.
Well, it all worked out.
Kevin and I are good buddies. This is Kylie Harris on board with me.
Hey, Kylie, how you doing, honey?
Hey, cousin Kevin.
How you doing?
All Harrises are related, right?
Except the Carmela.
Well,
Amen.
All right, Jack, let's see how many fish you caught today, sir. Today, guys, was a little better than the last 3 days. The last 3 days, boy, I struggled out here. I struggled my butt off. I think that's the biggest. No, that hybrid looks bigger. Anyway, we've been struggling out here. I found some fish this morning. These guys had a riot of a time. Put the bigger ones, lay them all the same way.
That's a hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid, striper.
So I caught that big hybrid. I caught the biggest one.
Oh, I don't, I guess. Would you say you caught all the big ones?
No, my dad caught that second biggest.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. No, this one might be the biggest. That one. That one's pretty big.
All right. How many?
Off one. It's 19.
You said 18, you thought. You guessed 18. All right. You guys represented today. Ooh, got a crappie trip in the morning, guys, so.
Oh, you gotta wake up early again?
No, I don't get it that early. Not for crappie. Just gonna buy crappie minutes, so I'll be out here crappie fishing tomorrow. Go see if we can get a cooler full of some crappie. All right, guys, till tomorrow.